Hi everybody and welcome back to Lost Genre Relationship Advice. On this video, we'll take a look at 4 different relationships that are a bit stressed out. So let's get started. Our first post is from Throwaway Trophy Girlfriend. A bit of background. My girlfriend and I are 30 and 31 respectively. We've been dating for about a year. I work as a high-level engineer at a good firm and my girlfriend works as a payroll specialist at a good firm too. I make significantly more than her, 3 times more. Things were good in our relationship until I showed her my retirement savings. She now doesn't see the point of working and has started framing our relationship in that she is the beautiful one and that I'm the nerdy engineer that was lucky to have her. Before, when we met, she was all about making it on her own way, eventually starting her own company with her sister in sourcing and recruiting. But now, she jokes about driving a Range Rover and wearing Lululemon and going to yoga. We were having a discussion again about this trophy wife stuff, and she brought up that I was nerdy back in the day while she was very popular. I told her that she is not a trophy wife, that yes, she is attractive, but it's not a huge difference between us. I told her had it been the case that I met her when she was 22 and I was my current age, then sure, but she isn't 22 anymore. After I said that, she just started crying like crazy. She started saying that I think of her as ugly and used up, and that her best years are behind her. She just told me that if I'm not happy with her, why am I even here? To stop wasting her time. I tried to talk to her, but she was in no state for a conversation. I don't know what to say, guys. For me, I just wanted to say that I think we are of similar attractiveness. Like, I don't think anyone when they see us turns their head and is like, oh, she's with him because of his money, or damn, he is so lucky to have her. I think it's mutual. She was the one that, if anything, went after my attractiveness first. What should I do? I like the fact that we both work and I don't want to change that dynamic. And I don't want her to think that she is above me and that I'm so lucky to have her. I want her to think of us as equals, and in my attempt to do that, I hurt her feelings. What's the next move? Well, first of all, I think we can all see where this guy failed. He did the engineer approach. With that weird comparison about, well, if you would have been younger, then yeah, you would have been a trophy wife, but you're not a trophy wife anymore because since we are at similar age, then our attractiveness, is equaled and there's no one on top of the other in that sense. And that comparison definitely hurt her feelings. Now, regarding this trophy wife stuff, that's nonsense. If she was really so keen on making it on her own, then seeing how much money he made would not have made a difference at all. Maybe feeling that kind of financial security or, projecting that kind of financial security just showed her true colors. But now, let's take a look at what the community is saying. Betmaster64 says, I think there are 2 perspectives for this. 1, she is insecure and she said that you guys will be equal. 2, she never thought you guys were equal. Then, McKill says, this seems to be a very textbook case of psychological projection. Because of your discrepancy in salary, she likely feels like she is worth less than you. She likely feels her best years are behind her, seeing as you took off and are only going up. Her poking around about her being a trophy wife is her seeking validation that she's not worthless and that you still value her, and her financial contributions are nothing to be ashamed of. I don't think she's a gold digger. I think she's taking some hits on her self-esteem, through no fault of your own or her own. I think some counseling would go a long way here. Alright, that's something to ponder. But then we've got Italian Stallion 94 that says, dude, you saved some money, right? Treat yourself with some nice running shoes, some that fit perfectly and you feel comfortable in, put them on and run. Yes, you can definitely see this girl as a gold digger, and if that's the case, then this dude should run. However, the point from Megkill that she's seeking validation is not so crazy. For starters, she did have the speech of her wanting to have her own company, and being independent and all that stuff. Hopefully that wasn't just a speech. In that sense, I think OP should have a conversation with her and try to encourage her to pursue that line, to go for the company, to be independent, and tell her that this is something that he would admire. I personally feel that you cannot love somebody if you don't admire them. How can you be in love if you don't think the other person is awesome? So maybe he needs to help her, regain her self-esteem and become that independent woman that he loves. If she does not want that, then yeah, run. What do you guys think OP should do? Try to fix this thing and, get her back on track, or just cut his loss and run away? Now let's continue to the next post. This one is from throwaway, do I stink? I've been with my boyfriend for over a year and everything has been great except for one thing. Every single day, at least once, he will tell me that I stink and smell of body odor. When we met, I showered every day, applied regular deodorant in the morning, brushed my teeth 3 times a day. Now I'm so paranoid about smelling bad that I shower at least twice a day. I apply new industrial strength deodorant every few hours. I have a reminder on my phone, use perfume, and I brush my teeth anytime I eat or drink something that isn't water. I feel like I'm going crazy. I didn't think I smelled bad in the beginning, and I don't think I smell bad now, but I obviously smell bad to him, right? I'm the weirdo that keeps sneakily smelling their own armpits. I have been to the doctor and he has said there is nothing medically wrong. It has honestly gotten to the point where I literally shove my armpit in friends and family's faces asking if I smell bad. They all say I don't smell like BO at all. One friend even said I smelled too clean, like a Lush store. I am getting so paranoid. He won't cuddle or anything when he says I smell. I really don't know what more I can do. For this one, we're not gonna read any community comments because there's an update that you guys are gonna love. Here we go. I waited for him to make a comment this morning so I could talk to him. It was less than an hour after waking up that he said, "God, you stink." I had already showered and put on deodorant. I snapped and asked what exactly was he smelling because at this point, I'm one of the cleanest people on the planet, and if I still smell bad to him, then we should just break up. He got all panicked and upset. I eventually got out of him that this was what his father always did to his mother. Apparently, his father told him that this was a surefire technique to have a woman never leave you because she will feel too low to cheat, will only love you, and will always be clean. Needless to say, his father is wrong. He's packing his things and moving out of my house today. This dude's father is not just wrong. He's a moron, an abuser, and a very little man. The fact that you think that you need to destroy somebody's psyche, somebody's self-esteem for them to stay with you speaks volume about the person you think you are. And he passed on this mentality to his own son. It's a good thing OP broke up with him. Maybe this kid is gonna learn a lesson now and stop doing that stuff because it's absolutely wrong and gross. Your role as a partner is to always help the one you love to build up and be confident. Yes, sometimes you might screw it up by saying the wrong thing, but if it's not intentional, then it's something, it can be worked on. However, when you intentionally hit somebody in their self-esteem to lower it, then you're a scumbag. I'm happy for OP. Sorry she spent a year on this thing, but, at least she knows she's not nuts and that she doesn't smell bad. Alright, let's move on to the next post. This one is from Throwaway Dad Reunited. For most of my life, I was just raised by my mother since my father left us when I was 3, and we are very close. My mom has always been vague about the details of the divorce, just that it was very painful and sudden, and that he never had interest in getting custody of me. A couple of months ago, I was going through documents looking for my birth certificate, and I came across their divorce papers. Surprisingly, my mom was listed as the one who filed for divorce, contradicting her story that he left us. I figured there must have been a reason for this, like him being abusive, but I know that my mom is sensitive about the topic, so I didn't want to bring it up. I asked my aunt, her sister, but I was just told to drop it. It's been bugging me, so I found him on Facebook. His profile was completely private, but his profile picture showed him with a little boy who must be my brother. I found his business email online, and against my better judgment, I emailed him asking if he would like to meet for coffee. He agreed. We met, and he was completely not what I was expecting. He was thrilled to see me, almost cried, and wanted to hear everything I had been up to for the past 15 years. I asked why he left, and that's when I got his side of the story. Towards the end of their marriage, my father confessed to my mom that he is bi and that during high school and college he had a serious boyfriend. He was ashamed of this, which is why he hid it from my more traditional mom. My mom was angry, but didn't divorce him because of it. After the divorce, he began dating his boyfriend again, and my mom freaked out over me being exposed to this. My mom petitioned for full custody and was granted it. Over the years, my father has attempted to reach out to my mom about me, but she has never budged. I asked my mom about what really happened. No BS. I told her dad's side of the story, and she tearfully admitted that it was true. She insists it was not out of anger or bigotry, but because she genuinely believed that it was best for me to stay with her. I am just so shocked still. She lied to me for years, making me think my own father did not want me. My dad and I are reconnecting now, but I have missed so much. Next week, I'm going to meet his husband and my 7-year-old brother. I live with my mom, but I can't speak to her right now. She is begging me to forgive her, but I'm so angry and I don't know how I'll ever not be angry with her. Wow, OP's world has changed so quickly. First of all, she found out that the dad that she grew up knowing that didn't love her or didn't want to have a relationship with her wasn't actually that what really happened. And the mom that was so close to her had actually been lying to her for most of her life. Those two pieces of information are enough to create a huge shock. Imagine realizing you could have had your dad with you the whole time, and at the same time that your mom had been lying to your face for years. Let's go take a look at what the community says. Karazaka says, I've never been in your situation, but one thing I'd suggest, given such a big event happening to you, is to give yourself time and allow yourself to not have to make any decisions for a while. That's some very sage advice, to which OP replies, yeah, I'm saving up and then I'm going to move out. Even if I end up forgiving my mom, I need space. But other than that, I'm not making any decisions right now. Then Hello Kitty says, look, I say this as a gay person. 15 years ago, the culture around this was entirely different from what it is now. Gay was still an insult in 2005. It was still an insult in 2010. Gay marriage hasn't been legal in the US for more than 5 years, and bi is even more misunderstood. It's possible your mother did think she was doing the right thing, and does realize she did the wrong thing. And because of that, I really think how she responds to this new situation should determine how you proceed forward. The reality of being a human is that we make mistakes. Sometimes we make really, really big mistakes, or mistakes that shouldn't reasonably have happened, or a series of mistakes one after the other. Only the people around us can decide if those mistakes are forgivable. There's not a grading system for these things. Talk to her about it. I think what Hello Kitty is saying is so true. Things have changed perspective-wise so much in the recent years. And that last bit about mistakes is like that saying, to err is human and to forgive is divine. Giving the mom a chance at this point to create a whole different relationship dynamic, including the dad, is the chance that she gets to prove that she is actually sorry. I wish the best for OP in this new dynamic. I am sorry that she did miss 15 years out of a dad and that her mom lied to her, but there's nothing you can change about the past. You can only move forward. What do you guys think? And this takes us to the last post. Now this one is from Throwaway Donut Zero. For starters, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 4 years. Our anniversary was in April, and for it we had planned to do a road trip. Obviously, that couldn't happen. Last month, he had brought up the idea of a road trip with me, his friends, 22 female, 24 male, and his friend's girlfriend, 24 female. This would be happening next year. I thought this was a good idea, as I am friends with his male friend and his girlfriend, but not necessarily with his female friend. To tell you the truth, I've always been quite worried about their relationship. Previous boyfriend cheated on me and I've still got some insecurities I need to sort out. I hadn't heard more about it since the trip was brought up in the first place, so I asked my boyfriend if it would still be going ahead. He said they had decided it would be a no girlfriends allowed trip. I was fine with that. Me and him could always go ourselves another time, and I know friends need time to hang out without their partners. Nothing more was said about it until one day when I happened to glance at his screen and saw that they had made a group chat and were talking about it. I also saw his friend's girlfriend was messaging in it. I asked him why she was in it if she's not going. He got defensive and instantly turned the screen away from me. I asked him why he did that and he said it's a private conversation. I then asked if I could look through the messages. I found out that she is still invited and it's just me who's been uninvited. I would understand it if she was one of his friends, but she's actually not. In fact, I haven't heard him say one nice thing about her. I guess my boyfriend just doesn't want me there, but is fine with someone he dislikes. I feel so left out as I was made to believe I was part of his friendship group, but none of them have even asked me why I'm not going. I don't know if I've misconstrued the situation and have made a big deal out of nothing, but I'm just incredibly hurt by this as it's not exactly fair she gets to go when I can't. I'm planning on talking to him about it tomorrow, but I just want to get some advice. This is a weird situation. First of all, it was supposed to be her anniversary trip with her boyfriend. Then the boyfriend lied about it being a no-girlfriends trip, and then she finds out that the other girlfriend is actually going. I understand her frustration, so yeah, it's a good thing she's gonna talk to him. Let's take a look at what the community said as advice. Katie80 says, "Wow, F all that. That's really uncool of all of them, especially him. You can ask him. I'm having trouble understanding. Please tell me why. I don't need to be upset by this. Just to see the justification he has in his mind. But unless it's actually completely ironclad, don't feel like you have any obligation to be okay with this. Don't let him gaslight you. You're not the crazy one here to be upset by this." Then Pokey711 says, "Your boyfriend is not being a stand-up guy here, and that should concern you. If a bunch of my buddies said they didn't want my wife along on a trip, but they were taking theirs, I tell them to have a good time and send a postcard. Dude should always stick up for his partner. Always." Absolutely agree with this point, and the fact that the boyfriend lied to cover it up makes it even worse. Fortunately, we have an update and we're gonna know what happened. I confronted my boyfriend the day after posting. Turns out, he didn't want to tell me that his friend's girlfriend despises me. I was shocked at this as when we've been around her, she's been nothing but nice to me. He showed me a private message she had sent him and she had demanded I didn't go on the trip. She also told him I was cheating on him. I was really shocked, so I messaged her and she said that she was uncomfortable with her boyfriend being around me as I was really flirty around him the last time we hung out. That's absolutely not true. If I was being flirty, don't you think my boyfriend would have seen that? Plus, I have enough respect for my boyfriend that I absolutely would not do that ever. My boyfriend's told me stories in the past about how his friend's girlfriend is very controlling and paranoid about other girls and won't even let him have female friends. I just didn't think she'd act that way with me. The only thing I can think of is when we last hung out, I accidentally touched his leg as we were at a cramped booth together, so she's definitely reaching there. Also, during that night, she had made a huge deal about him messaging another girl, so much so we had to leave early as she demanded to go home. My boyfriend kept what she had sent him to himself as he didn't want to cause any more rifts. He only has the 2 friends. He made the excuse up as to not hurt my feelings. I get it, I do, but I'm an adult and I can handle someone disliking me. He thought he was sparing my feelings, but why he thought I would be more hurt by someone I barely know disliking me than from being essentially uninvited from our anniversary trip is beyond me. It feels as if he took her side in it. I know he hates confrontation and that's fine for him, but I want a boyfriend who can stand up for me. He doesn't even know her for God's sake. I'm assuming he didn't want to lose his friend. His girlfriend is very manipulative. To tell you the truth, I also thought he was planning on hooking up with his female friend. With 2 guys and 2 girls going, how could I not think that? I'm not breaking up with him, we talked about it and he's not going on the trip. He's told his male friend the situation and he is likely going to break up with his girlfriend as this isn't the first time she's did this. Wow, that other girlfriend is a piece of work. She's definitely got some security and self-esteem issues she needs to address if she's this controlling and manipulative. Oh god. But that is not at all OP's problem. Now, she's been kind enough to give us a very short final update. I broke up with him, I've been reading all the comments on both posts and came to the realization that I'm unhappy, and that's likely not going to change unless I do something about it. And that's it. The hindsight is that maybe this whole thing with the manipulative girlfriend helped put this whole relationship under a perspective that really helped her see that she was unhappy. Or this was like the final straw, I don't know. In any case, I hope OP is feeling better and is happy. And once again, we've reached that time that it's the end of the video. I really hope you liked it. If you did, like always, I asked you to go ahead and press like. If you want to join the community, it's as simple as clicking on subscribe, and don't forget about the Lost Genre subreddit. Just go ahead and become a member. And having said all that, I'll see you guys on the next video.